Little did he know, that mechanical arm left in the car was gearing up to give the Kingsman a surprise. Taran showed up at his girlfriend's palace, dressed to impress with a brand new suit. However, his future father-in-law came at him with a barrage of questions. Thankfully, Ace Agent Susan had his back, using her high-tech glasses to save the day. But soon, he saw something worse than awkward family karaoke, a missile striking Susan's base. Kingsman HQ became nothing but rubble in a flash, followed by another missile turning Taran's home into a picturesque wedding ruin. It was too late. All the Kingsman bases were obliterated at once, as if Superman had discovered his kryptonite. The mastermind behind it all, a female drug lord, using the coordinates of the Kingsman bases to launch missiles like they were party poppers, completely obliterating this century-old justice. Rushing back to the Kingsman base, Taran gazed at the ruins, feeling so overwhelmed that he questioned his choice in suits. Just then, a familiar figure appeared from the rubble, and Taran whipped out his gun, ready for anything. But it was his old instructor Merlin. Taran thought she might be the traitor who leaked the coordinates. Why else would she be alive? But then Merlin pulled out that mechanical arm left in the car. Subtitles: she hacked the org's database, stealing all Kingsman data. Merlin survived because she is a zero-threat IO cute Citadella Ivy letter 6B FIA Mount letter 3CA Cyrillic letter 4E3I circumflex S-port staffer, invisible to all. With only the two of them left in the organization, revenge was their only option, and they had to kickstart the Doomsday plan. But when they opened the Doomsday vault to unveil the last resort of the organization, they were utterly speechless as the founder suggesting they celebrate, and not sure what else to do. They poured themselves a whiskey each, reminiscing about fallen comrades as if it were party time. That's when Taran spotted a hidden coordinate on the bottom of the whiskey bottle. This had to be the real secret passage. Subtitles: Merlin used equipment to detect a large underground architectural complex, and the two were as thrilled as if they had found a treasure map. As Taran picked up an axe, prepared to bust through the hidden entrance, a cowboy appeared out of nowhere. The cowboy wasted no time and went for it. Taran's heart raced as he prepared to show some Kingsman mercy. But as Kingsmen, they weren't pushovers. Years of training made them exceptional. Yet the cowboy handled them both like a pro, even using Taran's own watch against him. Later they found themselves tied to chairs while the cowboy didn't buy the Kingsman and Doomsday plan story at all. Taran and Merlin were stunned to discover that Hart, who got shot by the director 2.5 years ago, was still alive. Talk about a movie sequel. And the cowboy pulled out a gun to Hart, demanding Taran reveal their true intentions, or he'd be taking a nap under a tree. Just then a woman with a black umbrella stepped in. She appeared to have borrowed a Kingsman black umbrella from the Doomsday vault. Subtitle: she's from the Federals, a sister org to Kingsman. Our founder left the UK to establish it in Qatar. They were each other's last hope. She went by River Dry, and the cowboy was Blue Dragon. The two hurried over to Hart's room, ready for a reunion. But Hart was acting super strange, like he had no clue who they were. Definitely a memory reboot. Turns out that 2.5 years ago, when Hart got shot by the director, the cowboy and Dry River were on the same mission nearby. When they arrived at the church, they found freshly deceased Hart to talk about a major mishap. After confirming his Kingsman status, Dry River used high-tech magic to fix his brain. He survived, but with some serious memory hiccups. Now he wasn't the suave, tough Kingsman anymore, but a timid entomologist instead. Merlin stayed behind to try and jog Hart's memory while Taran followed the cowboy to meet the fossil of the Federal agents. The old fella, known as Champagne, was ready to unleash Federal resources to help Taran exact revenge for the Kingsman. Subtitles: Taran discovered that Charlie, the traitor's ex-girlfriend, was attending a music festival, which could be the sole clue to locating Charlie and the organization behind him. So, Champagne sent out his top agent, codenamed Whiskey, to assist Taran talk about a match made in heaven. Taran and Whiskey arrived at the music festival where Whiskey pulled out a tiny umbrella, actually a mysterious tool. To activate it, they needed to inject it using special mucus. Too bad Whiskey wasn't Charlie's type. But Taran, with his fresh boy charm, quickly won her over and slipped the tracker on her without her noticing. Meanwhile, Merlin was trying to jog Hart's memory by recreating the first agent SQ, the pool party. Hart panicked as the room filled with water, while Merlin nervously watched, hoping this top agent would awaken his memories soon. As it looked like Hart truly forgot all his agent expertise, he struggled helplessly in the water while Merlin couldn't bear to watch. Ultimately, Merlin shut down the test, while Hart, lucky to be alive, still convinced he was an entomologist, packed his bags to leave. When Taran returned to see this, he suddenly had a wild idea. Maybe a more intense approach would completely wake this Kingsman up. That night, Taran brought in a cute little puppy as a parting gift, causing Hart to light up like a kid on Christmas. But just as Hart took the puppy, Taran suddenly pointed a gun at him, causing Hart to panic and the puppy to bolt. Taran kept pressing him to choose between the dog's life or his own, but with the puppy looking all innocent, Hart was left paralyzed by indecision. Under the intense pressure, dazzling butterflies danced across his vision, and fragments of memory began to resurface. He recalled his prowess against thugs and the tragedy at the church, finally connecting the dots about his true identity. The most vivid memory was his final agent test back then, when he had to shoot his beloved dog. The scene now echoed in his heart with the current puppy. In an instant, Hart woke up, all his forgotten memories flooding back, ready to rejoin the fight. If you enjoyed this hilarious tale, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more super fun episodes.